it's lunchtime, so I thought I'd stop by and chat with you whilst I'm here. I've got my one meal a day. So, you know, I eat carnivore and it's one meal a day. I have got 500 grams of pork shoulder steaks. I've got 4 eggs and 2, maybe 3 green peppers. So I thought I'd chat with you guys over lunch while I eat. You don't mind me eating, do you, whilst I'm chatting away? I'll try not to talk with my mouth open. My mum did raise me well. I'm a good Christian girl. But today it's Monday and it's the start of a new start of my week. We know that I'm really working hard to lose 165 pounds, I think it was. It was Dom and I, we were speaking about the amounts that we wanted to lose, because when we first started, we were both 351 pounds, and we said we wanted to bring that down into half it. So let's try and lose half our body weight. So far, I've lost 119 pounds. Yay! Well, maybe yay, but I mean, look at these bingo wings. In fact, I should talk to you a bit more about the bingo wings in a little bit. So what was I saying? The rheumatology consultant, she told me to go and check out Jason Fung, and that's what I did. And he explains in his book, The Obesity Code. He also has a book called The Diabetes Code, and he's just released a book called The Hunger Code. So I've not received the Hunger Code yet. I'm going to get that on my Audible subscription soon enough. For those of you who don't know me, hey, it's me, Jo, from Jo's Sleep and Slim Down Journey. And I'm really excited to be here, literally, because it's dinner time. And I'm eating my one meal a day. Now, I've been normally eating one meal a day since 2022, because my rheumatology consultant told me to do so. That was a meaty bit. Sorry, Graham. And anyway, the reason why she told me to, she didn't give me a reason why. She just says, go and do it and it'll be really beneficial for you. Well, remember, I'm in the UK. And UK doctors, they try to stick to the NICE guidelines. So they can't talk about things that that aren't necessarily things that the NICE guidelines work with. So, for example, in the NHS, it's very rare that you get given an opportunity to have a fasting insulin test. But she told me to go and suggest doing intermittent fasting. She probably saw at the time that I had a really dark brown ring around my neck. And no, it wasn't dirt. It wasn't dirt. There's a scientific name for it. But ultimately, those things are they appear for people who've got hyperinsulinemia or insulin resistance. So maybe you find that you've got skin tags under the soft folds of your skin, or on your neck, or between your thighs, underneath your armpits, underneath your boobs. You know, some people don't suffer from those, which is great. But also, you might find that you've got your blood glucose levels are increasing and you're getting towards pre-diabetic levels. So she told me, Jo, I know you are a low carber, because I've been low carb since 2016. Hold on, let me just take a bite. So, I've been eating low carb since 2016. She said, just do one meal a day. Because I was saying to her, with my Raynaud, my fingers were really bad. They were really bad. They were so inflamed that I was struggling with my grip, but that also meant I was struggling to use a knife, open packs of salad, do chopping and things like that. And she goes, well, if you're struggling, then just eat one meal a day. And here's why. So I've been doing that now for, this is coming up to my 4 years. And normally I eat about 6 o'clock, but I thought I'll eat with you guys. For those of you in the UK, it's lunchtime. Okay, right, let me just ask Chatticus about my dinner. Give me a sec. Let me just get him turned on. Oh, way up. Okay, let me just get him on. Chat GPT. So everyone's saying hi to everyone. It's lovely to see you folks. I just thought I'll do this one now. I'm just trying to catch some lunch, and I thought if I'm eating lunch, let's eat with you guys. Okay, so hi Chaticus.
I'm here and ready to roll, Joe. Whatever's on your mind, let's dive in and make it positive.
Can you hear Chaticus, folks? If you can hear him, will you just throw up some hearts for me or some emojis, just so I could see if I need to turn up the sound?
I can't see emojis from here, but I promise I'm loud and clear on my side. If you're good, we can keep it rolling.
Okay, so Grant put 2 hearts in, so that means that Grant can hear you, Chaticus.
Perfect. If Grant can hear me, we're all set. So, what's next on your mind?
So what I wanted to know, Chaticus, you know I eat my 1 meal a day. Today I've got 500 grams of pork shoulder steaks, I've got 4 large eggs, and I've got 3 green peppers, but not bell peppers. They're like jalapenos, but they're a little bit sweeter. And I'm wanting to know how many calories are in there and how many grams of carbs. Not carbs. Well, yeah, let's have grams of carbs, but also grams of protein.
Got it. Calories, grams of protein, and grams of carbs. I'll break it down. Pork shoulder steak, eggs, and those mild green peppers. Let me give you a good estimate.
Brilliant. Well, tell us, how many do you think I've got in this whole plate?
All right, let's estimate. For 500 grams of pork shoulder, you might be looking at around 1,100 calories, roughly 120 grams of protein, and very little carb, like close to 0. 4 large eggs at about 280 calories, around 28 grams of protein, and just a few grams of carbs, maybe 2. For 3 of those milder peppers, minimal calories, maybe 40 total, and just a few grams of carbs. In all, we're talking around 1,400 calories, about 150 grams of protein, and a tiny bit of carbs. That's one hearty plate.
There you go.
There you have it, Joe. A solid breakdown, and you're all set to enjoy that meal. If anything else pops up, I'm right here.
Thank you, Chaticus. It's so polite, honestly. So Chaticus was there explaining to me that my 1 meal a day today is how many did he say? Was it 1,400? 1,400 calories, 150 grams of protein, and a tiny bit of carbs. I think he said the eggs would be 2. Did he give me anything for the milder peppers? Okay, so less than 10 grams of carbs. This is all I'll be eating today. And I eat 1 meal a day. And doing this, together with a GLP1, I've been doing this now for nearly a year. Nearly a year, which is another thing that I wanted to talk to you about today. And I've lost so far 119 pounds. Well, the whole point that I eat like this is for my health. And I'm definitely feeling that my health is improving. As I say, when I first started eating like this, I could barely move my fingers. My fingers were so swollen. They really were so swollen, weren't they, Tracy? So, as I was explaining, my fingers and my toes are a lot less swollen than what they used to be, because I used to suffer really bad with Raynaud's. I also suffer really bad with chronic inflammation that used to affect especially my lungs. Okay, so this week I've lost weight, and I've been stepping on the scales because obviously I was wanting to make sure that I record my progress, because I use Newman, and their app, they send you a reminder, enter your latest weight. So on Friday, I weighed myself, and I was down to 105.6. 105.6? Before my fibromyalgia flare up, 10 days before now, it must be about 10 days before, I was 111. So, which is interesting because I normally put weight on, because I put water weight on with the fibromyalgia flare up. So I think my flare-up had ended probably this time last week, wasn't it? So then a week later, I did the measurements and I was 105.6. That's a massive drop. And I always measure it in kilos. So 105.6 is, I think it's 232 pounds. Remember, I started my weight at 351 pounds. So my plan is, I'm going to try and get to 95 kilos. You've seen my belly already. I've shown you my belly. We know the girls. I want to keep the girls. My girls mean that I stay juicy. But one thing I don't like, and some of you may be aware of this, it's not that I don't like it, but I just like, it'd be great if it could go. You know, the fact that you get like under here, and the fact that you get around your back, you know, near your bra line, you know, that makes you have back rolls. Back rolls, is that what, I'm trying to think of, Melissa, what's her name? Anissa Edwards. Back rolls? I'm thinking back rolls. I do not want my back rolls anymore. And I'll show them. I don't mind showing them to you. Because people say how slender I am. I'm not really. It's because my girls are so big that makes me look slender. But my back rolls, I've got a crop top on, so I know that I'm not revealing anything that I shouldn't. But I don't want this anymore. I don't want this anymore. And it'd be great if I could get rid of some of the extra weight that I've got here and on my arms. So I'm thinking if I can lose about another 40 pounds, that might help take me down to there. But here's the really weird thing. And folks, will you tell me if this is something that you've experienced as well? You know that dress that I wore for my interview last Thursday? That's a size 18, a UK 18 is the same as a US 16. And all my clothes that I've got are between a size 18 and a size 20. That's what I was before I put 140 pound on. Well, I've still got 40 pound to lose, but I'm in those clothes already. And I know that, right, Melby, I know that we do the strength training and the resistance training because we're wanting to make sure that we're keeping our muscle. Like Doses of Charlotte, I know you do this. You're a big advocate for going to the gym and making sure that you're staying strong. So I am doing that as well. But we can clearly see that there's still weight to be moved in those areas that I showed. But what I don't want to happen is I don't want to lose 40 more pounds and then have to buy a whole load more clothes. Because money is too tight to mention. I've gone from a size 32 down to a size 18. I'm throwing all the clothes out. Well, I'm not throwing them out. They're going off to the charity shops, the thrift stores. Take them to the Salvation Army and the British Heart Foundation shops. So that's me just paying it forward. So it's not like I'm going to sell them, but they're going to be put to greater use for people who might need them. But I've got some fabulous clothes that are size 18 and a size 20. And if I lose 40 more pounds, do I risk not being able to fit back into those clothes? That's a real important thing here that I wanted to ask you guys before I finish for the day. Let's have a look at what we can see. More people have joined the chat. So we can see Candy K or Daisy. Candy K, we've just been chatting about your GLP1 panel later today. It's at midnight my time in the UK. So I might not be able to actually watch in real time. But if I'm not, I will definitely catch up on the replay. So Candy K's here. So Miss T is here. Travelling T, she's here. It's lovely to see you, Travelling T. And lovely. I'm sure I left you a voicemail the other day. Don't get rid of the clothes; they can be altered. So that's one of the big things, Travelling T. The clothes that, like my jumpsuits, you know, the jumpsuits that I really wanted to slim down into. And then I slimmed into them. Well, now they're too big for me. I really want to alter those because at least 2 of those jumpsuits were really expensive. And I just love them. I just love them. So I'm going to alter those. There's a couple of other clothes that I want to alter and bring down. You just made a really good point though. For all those clothes that are size 18 and 20, I could do the alterations as well, can't I? So that would be, if I got down to a size 16, a UK 16. I definitely do not want to be anything smaller than a UK 16, because I want to still keep juicy. You know the phrase that Coach Mean uses? I want juicy. I want my body to be like an hourglass, but strong. It's a strong, juicy body. That's how I look best. But I was an athlete for my first 18 years of life. I was a sprinter, and I looked like my dad as well, and the image of my dad. Um, and even though some of my lady lumps grew, I had a very strong athletic body. And because I look like my dad, that's why I always thought I was a handsome woman. Never saw pretty at all. Never saw any sort of femininity in my look, because of my build. It was a strong build. And you've all seen my legs. You've all seen my bandy legs. There's nothing feminine about my bandy legs. So that's why I want to make sure that my lady lumps, my girls, I want to make sure that they stay. But I'm still thinking I'm aiming for about a 40-pound weight loss, just to get rid of some of these things that can happen here, on my stomach, around my arms, obviously, and on the tops of my thigh.